the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. In this game, we'll see the Indiana Pacers against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Looking at the Lakers, they face another struggling team here and have to look at this as a golden opportunity. A win tonight would mean a lot more than just the notch in the W column. Well, we knew Harrison Barnes would see a boost in scoring after leaving Golden State, but man, I think it's safe to say he's exceeded expectations. You think?
You know, he could put up 20 a game as a focal point. You know, his ISO game, Kenny, is fantastic.
I agree.
Can he be a number one option?
I think he can be a number one option, but I think he serves best as a number two option because then he can kind of roam around and the dependability isn't there every night.
That's it for us for now. Kevin Harlan standing by, ready to bring you the play-by-play.
Tell him sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down.
Everyone is in their seats here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles as the Los Angeles Lakers look to grab a win on the home floor. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our Hall of Fame sideline reporter David Aldridge, and a special treat here tonight. Joining us courtside is five-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant. Kobe, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
No, I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure to stop by and help out.
We're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
I'm sure.
Looking at the Lakers, they took the win in their last game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. And they barely squeaked by with that one, edging out by just 1 point.
And when you shoot a high percentage from distance, that gives you momentum and really keeps the opponent on the ropes.
Yep, exactly. And it also stretches that defense out a little bit, expands the floor for you, and makes things really hard for the defenders when you space and stretch them like that.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, Nate McMillan took over as coach of the Pacers last season. Now, his previous head coaching job had been 5 seasons prior. He said, now, there's a lot of old school in me, but I do understand you have to adapt with this generation of players, the millennials, and how you communicate. They want to bring that old school discipline to this team. Kevin?
Thanks, David. It's great to have a mix of those things. Adapt or die, as they say. Well, Kobe, something that's such a huge tool in the NBA and the team's offense is the pick and roll, the screen roll game. You've done it as well as anybody. Just how are the nuances and the attention to detail important to make that play work?
Well, it's really important, but the screen roll today is run differently than it was, say, when Utah was running it with Stockton and Malone. What you're seeing now is more of a spread floor screen roll action where it makes rotations very difficult because you have to rotate off of shooters at a distance.
Right.
So now what you tend to see more teams try to down pick and roll coverages and sending guys to one side of the floor and try to play the screen roll coverage with 2 men and try to not have 3 guys in the action. You have to rotate and now push your team behind, right? And that it's a dance of, can you play the screen roll with just 2 guys? And on offense, can I force you to have a 3rd guy come in and rotate? If I can do that offensively, then you're behind.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. They've got Morris. Bradley Beal is out there with Corey Joseph. Then there's Al Jefferson. And it's Bogdanovich in at the small forward.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first make.
And Kevin, I really think it's important that shot becomes part of Ball's arsenal. He's got to get comfortable knocking down the 3-point shot.
Now here's Joseph. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Portland.
And he was also a terrific creator in that game as well. His assist totals show you what a fantastic all-around effort it was. And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Kobe, you look at all the former Defensive Player of the Year, and they're almost always big men. You were a 9-time first-team all-defensive selection in the NBA. Do you think guards sometimes get overlooked at the impact they have in a game and a play?
Yeah, they definitely do.
All the time,
huh?
huh?
I think the bigs have a huge responsibility in protecting the rim. And those things are very easy to measure.
Right, block shots.
Blocks
and exactly.
Rebounding.
Right.
Altering shots or defensive rebounds. For guards, it's tougher. But still in all, there's some guards out there who have done it. Michael and Gary Payton and, Kawhi Leonard, I count him as a guard. They're just phenomenal defensive players.
Where does that mindset come from, that defensive mindset, when you're an offensive gifted player like yourself?
Well, I think that's a truly competitive person. Some players will call themselves competitive, but you're not truly competitive if you only compete at one end of the floor. That's not what true competitive people do.
And that one falls for Beal. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. Kobe, the league seems to be moving away from isolation basketball, sometimes called hero ball, in favor of more ball movement, more of a fluid offense. What do you make of that trend?
Well, I think it's the right thing. I mean, if you look at the way the Knicks played, for example, when they had Bradley, Busher, Phil was coming off the bench.
Well, you are a historian. You love the history of the game, don't you?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I can just tell working with you.
Yeah. Holtzman was coaching. We had Frazier out there. I mean, they moved the ball. I mean, everything was predicated on ball movement, as was the Celtics with Brett Auerbach. And then in the 80s, things changed a little bit. You start going to more isolation ball, where guys would post deep and force the double coverage to come all the way down to them, and then you start moving the ball around. Now you start seeing a spread offense where the ball's moving again like it was when the Knicks were playing and the Celtics were playing. And so, I think it just depends on the style of defense that you're seeing and the personnel that you have. I think that determines your style of play.
And Kobe, how did you learn to watch tape? Because there are guys now watching tape and they'll just go, and you wonder if it's really even sinking in.
Trial and error.
Yeah, right. But really, that was it.
Trial and error. You start looking at things, you start saying, man, like if I'm watching an edit on the player, and I watch one particular game, and then I look at the next game, and he's doing the same thing. And the next night, he's doing the same thing. Hold on, let me go back and watch. And then you start looking for consistent behaviors or patterns in their behavior. And then you think, okay, maybe that's something that's a tendency for him. Let me go back and check. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles. Oh, my God. Yeah,
there
that's
it is.
it.
There's the pattern.
Right, so what if I interrupt him between his first and second dribble and throw him off a rhythm? What'll happen then? Right? What if I know he's going to go 1-2, turn right shoulder? I let him go 1-2. Now I jump to his right shoulder. Now you can't turn there. What happens then? You throw him off of their pattern.
Kobe, LeBron said he learned so much about how to approach the game when you shared the floor on Team USA. What was it like playing with a guy like him, as you also played with Jordan, and then going up against him all those years?
Well, I think it was a shocking experience for them. I don't think they realized how much I talk trash. And so, what? I don't think they knew because, when you from a distance, you say, Kobe, we thought you were really quiet and all sorts of stuff. And you get to practice and I just don't shut up. And I'm just saying really brutal things about their game. It's just, they're getting really ticked off. But
then, because you were right.
Yeah, but then the intensity of practice goes up another level. And then we'd all go out to dinner, and then the next morning, we come into the meeting, and I've already been working out for 2 hours. And so then they see that. And then, D. Wade would come up and say, hey, man, I want to join you in your workouts. What time are we going? 5 a.m. He'd be down there working out. And Brian would say, I want to come too. And Brian would show up, and then Melo would show up. And all slowly but surely, we have our whole USA team in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning training.
What a constructive time, I would think,
That was
for those other players.
But it was fun for all of us because we got a chance to hang around each other and think about the competition, right? So now when we come back to the NBA, fans are getting a better product, right? Because we've all been working out and pushing each other and getting better off of each other. So now when we step on the court to compete against each other, that means we have to take our games to another level.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
First one falls for him. Kobe, that fadeaway jump shot of yours is such a foundational part of your game. What's the key to that particular shot? And who's carrying the torch for that shot now?
Well, yeah, the fadeaway is there's different ways to shoot the fadeaway. There's a Hakeem Olajuwon way of shooting the fadeaway. There's a Michael way of shooting the fadeaway.
Oscar used to do it, and I know you.
Oscar used to do it quite a bit. So I try to use bits and pieces from each, depending on the defender that I'm facing. But yeah, there's certain players that are carrying that shot now. LeBron shoots the fadeaway quite often, as does KD. He shoots it a lot. Clay will shoot it. Kawhi will shoot it quite a bit off of pull-up jumpers and things of that sort. So there are a lot of players doing it.
And over the course of your career, Kobe, 5 NBA championships. Are there any of those that really stand out among the 5 that you accumulated?
The last one, beating the Celtics. That was the hardest one by far to get.
Why so?
Well, we're going into Boston now with the series tied 1-1, and Boston is absolutely excited about having this split and going home now and having 3 games at home, thinking that the series was not going to come back to LA. And so that was an interesting playing flight for us, and then to go out and get the very next game, just to go down 3-2, coming back to LA, and then to finally pull out that series after being down 15 in the fourth quarter against the Celtics. That get you better than that.
That free throw, no good. And after 20 years in the NBA, Kobe, you were able to play with so many teammates. Can you make a short list of some of your favorites over the years?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Pau Gasol for me. Derek Fisher.
And a quality person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, right.
And Derek Fisher, Ronny Turiaf, who's one of my all-time favorites. Lamar Odom, Shaq, obviously, Robert Horry, Rick Fox. I mean, I've been very fortunate to play with some great teams. Horace Grant, AC Green. I mean, let's go. Ron Harper. I mean, I can go on and on all day long. Brian Shaw. I mean, I was very fortunate to have some really good teammates.
Now here's Barnes. He picked up 27 points in their last win against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. And again, the Lakers, no good.
And there was no effort on behalf of the defense. None. I mean, the shooter has to be upset with himself for missing that shot.
The shot will not fall. So the Lakers will take it the other way.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. The ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
Now, here is Morris. Bogdanovich missing his last shot. No good from 11 feet.
Got to give the defense credit. That was a great contest on a high percentage shot in the paint.
You look back to the final game as a player, Kobe, all the emotion that was building up for that moment. Then you go out and score 60 points. Surreal moment. Did you ever think for any moment that maybe I've got 1 year left in the tank after that 60-point performance?
You know what? It wasn't a matter if I had another year in the tank. It was just, I just don't want to do this anymore. I wake up in the morning, my body's sore. That 60-point game was everything I had left for that year. And to be able to have to reboot that and reset the system all over again, no thank you.
People don't see that side of it, do they?
No, they don't. But it's just, nor do we want them to, right? We want them to appreciate being entertained and coming to a game and taking their mind off of whatever it is they want to take their mind off of. It's an opportunity for them to escape. And that's what we provide. So that's completely fine.
The first one falls.
And, Bogdanovich played for 10 years in Europe before coming to the NBA. Just now coming into his prime, but he's got a lot of pro experience.
He hits both from the stripe.
Textbook shooting from the stripe. Great form, soft release, mark it up.
And Kobe, something that has changed in the NBA over the course of your career is the role of the power forward, the 4. More and more you need to be able to stretch the floor, take your guy outside, shoot the 3. Do you feel that that's a trend, or is that something you think that is here to stay in the NBA?
Well, I think things will evolve and things will change. I mean, you start getting power forwards like Tim Duncan and Garnett back in the league, Dirk. all of a sudden it becomes less and less of a commodity to have smaller fours.
Right.
Because you're going to need to deal with the Tim Duncans and the Garnetts of the world. So I think it's just a natural evolution thing.
Did you, when you had to guard a big like that, ever fear going out and trying to get him on the side or even working him inside the lane where he would have more power, more advantage?
No, I never worried about it too much. What I try to do is I always try to study the film and figure out what their tendencies are, what their sweet spots are, and you just try to get them off of that. It's not necessarily about the size of them, but how do you get yourself in position when you can knock them off balance a little bit and use the lack of size that you have to disorient them.
Here's Morris. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. Screen by Jefferson. 6 to shoot, and that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Lakers.
And one thing they can definitely improve on is their work from three-point range, especially from the corners. That's an area of the floor that has been a black hole for them this season. If they can start to get some points from the corners, it'll really open things up for them.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Collison. A rebound by the Lakers.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
And so here is Indiana. Morris a screen. Here's Young. And that one hits back iron. LA's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Joey, for a guy like yourself who made an incredible amount of three-point shots during your career, what is it like watching Steph Curry? Just how much has he changed the league? It was always watching the dunks of Jordan. Now we got kids that want to shoot the ball from distance.
Yeah. Shooting the ball from distance now has kind of become like a home run in baseball, right? Where it's exciting to watch the ball in flight. I think it's great because it just adds more love to the game, more things that players could do or kids can do that can't dunk. Right? It's like dunking was the thing, right? But now the kids that can dunk, there's something else that's fun. There's something else that's entertaining, like shooting threes. Right? So
but boy, that takes a lot of work. Huh?
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's a lot of repetition.
Hundreds of shots daily.
Yeah, and it's a lot of repetition. And Steph, you watch him out there playing and making all these shots. He's put in hours and hours and hours of hard work and continues to do so.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Sabonis, he's checked in for Markieff Morris. And Stevenson comes in for Bogdanovich. And Glenn Robinson III is subbed in for Bradley Beal. Indiana trailing here with that three-point shooting on the rise, Kobe. If you were coming into the league right now, would you try to lean more in that direction than the incredible acrobat that you were when you were in your prime?
It depends who I was playing against. Mm-hmm. I try to build my game to be able to do all those things.
And you could. I mean, you're like one of the few guys that could do all.
Yeah, so it just depends on who I was matching up against, which determines then how I would try to punish the defense.
I like that word.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a softer one. And I was like, punish is a good one.
You're honest. And the basket by Curry. Hey, Kobe, after dedicating pretty much your entire life to the game of basketball, a game that I know you love, you said you don't miss it. Why is that?
Well, because I've been through that process. I mean, I started playing the game when I was like 2 years old, and playing professionally for 20 years, and I left no stone unturned. So there's no regrets there. I've done everything I could possibly do, and truthfully, the game is still with me. The discipline has changed. The industry might have changed, but the same approach, the same things that I've learned from the game, I carry with me to this day. So the game is still inside of me.
And here is Los Angeles now. The Pacers making the shot. Pass to Zubac. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Clarkson. Second shot opportunity. Zubac, that's good. Zubac has got his second bucket of the night. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
And both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
Screen by Young. Back to Collison. Screen by Young. The shot from 20 feet away. Collison, no good. Kobe, and any chance you might coach or might be a consultant to an organization, for instance?
No,
not at all.
Yo, listen, players reach out to me and they'll call me and I'll give them advice, and I like it better that way as opposed to being tied down with one particular franchise. And I like what I'm doing now. And any player from all over the world can reach out, and I'm there for them in terms of providing advice or counsel.
Well, the story got out last year in the playoffs that Isaiah Thomas and you had some conversations.
Yeah. Well, he reached out and had some questions about how to approach that particular series, and I just said, send me over the film. What are you looking at? And I'll tell you. I'll take a look at it and I'll tell you what I see, and then you can go from there.
Kuzma can't get it to go.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
Now, here is Young. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. 11 feet away. Robinson, that's good. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
Outside Curry. They set the pick. Curry, a screen on Robinson. Barnes kicks to Curry. The three. Shot's good by Clarkson. Clarkson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
And they are going toe-to-toe here tonight, guys. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, these teams evenly matched, Greg, trading hits and refusing to give up any advantage.
Young. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
That's just really good clock management there. I mean, that's how you close a quarter.
Tie game in Los Angeles. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Hustling on that offensive glass. That's led to a number of second chance points.
And we know energy and effort go hand in hand, and they won't be denied playing with a bunch of energy, easily coming up with those offensive rebounds too.
Lakers shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. Kobe, a big part of the talent evaluation today is the psychological impact in that aspect, which I think will lead teams toward one prospect over another. If you were looking for personality traits in players and you were making that decision for a team, what trait would you value the most in a player?
About curiosity. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's curiosity.
Why so?
Because curious people will always ask why things work or don't work.
And you were a big why asker.
Have to, because that's the only reason you win, is when you can figure out why things happen or didn't happen. Right? If you lose a game, a curious person won't point the finger. A curious person will say, well, why did we lose? Instead of just saying them.
Right.
They're going to go back and check the film and ask questions. Okay, why did we mess up there? Why did we blow that coverage there?
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Pacers, Collison is out there with Robinson. Then it's Lance Stevenson. Then it's Young. And it's Sabonis in at the 5, down low. Some say, Kobe, that the shooting guard crop in the NBA right now, a little light in terms of depth, not quite as many top two guards as we used to see play the game. Who do you like among some of the two guards you see now in the NBA?
Well, it depends who we're considering a two guard.
Right, because they just blend,
twos,
don't they?
The threes, they all just blend.
Combo guards, you're playing some forward position. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, shooting guards to me are guards that have to do everything. You have to be able to play the post. You have to be able to play the perimeter. You have to be able to play the point. You have to do everything. So I'll put Russell Westbrook in that category. I'll put James Harden in that category. I'll put Kawhi Leonard in that category. There's a lot of players I'm forgetting. Even Giannis, I would say, is a two guard because of what he does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talented guards out there.
Did you like the ball in your hand, bringing it up, or would you have rather someone else bring it up, then get it to you in the half court, and then do what you did?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm jealous about Michael. because Michael didn't have to do that. He had Pippen.
Yes,
So-
right. Who always brought it up.
Yeah,
Yes,
so he could
yes.
focus on coming off the screens and catching and shooting. He didn't have to think about facilitating first. He could think about scoring and then passing out of double teams.
Here's Collison following the three by the Lakers. On the wing, Stevenson. 5 to shoot. There's the pick. It's hauled in by Zubac. And Kobe, you talked about coming off screen. Some guys come off a screen and kind of just lollygag. You came off and you pass the ball and then get back at it
Efficient.
again. Yeah.
Efficient.
Explode off those
The
screens.
angles, right?
Yes.
You got to be able to read those things. And when you're catching, you're in attack mode all the time. But then it's demoralizing to the defense.
I'm sure it is.
You're always on.
Yeah.
You're always looking. You're always checking. You're always in fear that he's going to attack. So, yeah, we always try to keep our foot in the gas.
Always.
Our foot in the throat.
Yeah. Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles, Andrew Bogut. He's checked in for Zubac. Caldwell Pope comes in for Seth Curry. And it's Tyler Ennis in for Clarkson. Now here's Caldwell Pope. Good D by Stevenson.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
Robinson kicks to Collison. Inside. Got a piece of it. Ennis with the ball. Robinson on him. Hits. Count that one from Ennis. And the Lakers lead by 8. The Pacers have gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. They set the pick. This is DeYoung. Up off the screen. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Kevin, let's take a look here to see where the Lakers rank in the NBA.
And the ball has been moving just beautifully for them. There's that trust that when you get open, the ball will find you and also find you on time. You see guys cut harder, and it becomes infectious.
First one falls for him. Kobe, you were a player who lived in the gym. What motivated you as you go back and look at all those hours you spent in the gym to do that, to follow that path?
I loved it. I loved the game. It wasn't a matter of working hard. I didn't realize I was working hard until like my second or third year in the league, when I realized here in the NBA, a lot of players don't do that.
Right.
It was kind of a big shock to me. Like, I assumed everybody in the NBA
Just worked hard.
Yeah, but to me, it wasn't hard work. It was like, I love doing this. Like, there's no place on earth I'd rather be than be here in this gym with the basketball and the hoop.
But the greats are always the hardest workers, aren't they? I mean, right? Have you ever seen a great player who is not the hardest worker on their team?
No, I've seen players have great seasons, and and then the next season it's
They
not
fall.
so much,
Right.
and then they have another great one, and the consistency isn't there. The truly great players love what they do, and that looks like hard work to the outside world.
Did you enjoy playing the game? And there was so much you put into the game, but did you enjoy the game?
I did. I enjoyed the game. I loved playing, the competition and all that, the getting ready and all that. But I enjoyed practice more.
Did you?
I did. I enjoyed training and practice more than I did the games.
Wow. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
You know, they've also shown some real tenacity here early on tonight, and it's paid off with a lot of second chance points.
The first free throw is good. Well, Kobe, it seems like the NBA is becoming less a position-based and more of a skill, positionless game. Perimeter skill now seems to be at a premium. Do you agree with that? Do you like that? Would you change that?
Well, I think players need to be able to play all positions on the floor, right? If you look at the teams that win championships, they generally have every player that's on the floor can make a decision. Every player can dribble, every player can pass, every player can shoot, right? There's a reason why San Antonio is always finding themselves there in the end. The reason why the Cavs are finding themselves there in the end. It's the reason why Golden State's because they have playmakers at every position on the floor.
They have basketball players.
They have basketball players, right? Not specialists. They have basketball players.
Joseph has an open look. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. And in the history of the NBA, only a handful of players have lasted 20 seasons. Kobe, you played all 20 with the Los Angeles Lakers, an NBA record for seasons with one team. What does it mean to just having worn that Laker jersey your entire career?
Well, I mean, it's a huge honor. I've always been a massive Laker fan, even when I was a kid. And so I never dreamed that I'd actually be wearing the golden armor for my NBA career. So to be sitting here right now, having played 20 years, is literally the coolest dream that could have ever happened to any kid. Happened to me.
And I don't know that it'll happen again. The way the league is structured now, money, the free agency, even though you had a chance to leave a couple times, you always chose to stay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's loyalty is a word that you hear thrown around often. But in this day and age, it's very tough to see in sports because of the cap, because of, the free agency market and so forth and so on. So I've been very, very fortunate to have a great organization and to be able to have played 20 years of my career.
Well, you got to play against some great defenders in the NBA like Draymond Green of Golden State and others. What are some of the things that, I mentioned Draymond Green, that he does as a player that you think separates him from the rest of the defensive guys in the league?
He does his research. He does his homework.
You can tell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell. When you watch him play, he puts himself in position before the offensive player even attacks. And how does he know that? Because he's watched the film. He studies. He knows the player's tendencies. And so when you mix in the research to go along with his frame and the quick hands and the foot speed, then you have a defensive player that's a force.
Free throw drops for Ennis. Hey, Kobe, when you take a look at great NBA rivalries, your mind goes more to the past than the present. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe you can enlighten us why rivalries seem to matter more or were more in our minds from yesteryear as opposed to today.
Because we can recall where we were when. Right? The recollection is always more powerful in retrospect, right? I mean, that's always, you remember where you were when, Magic hit that running hook shot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some people can remember where they were when Nelson hit that shot that bounced off the back of the rim and almost touched the rafters and fell back in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's those memories that create a lasting impact. And even though in today's game, you can look at it and say, there's no real rivalries in today's game. There are. But they're only sink in over time.
So you think the Cleveland Golden State rivalry, because the greats are on opposite sides there, will linger and will resonate like that?
Absolutely.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
Yeah, much improved foul shooter. KCP also starting to get to the line at a higher rate.
And Caldwell Pope drops them both. Kobe, you're a father. You've enjoyed that process, but basketball got in the way a lot of it. How do you balance fatherhood and playing at the level you played at?
Yeah, when I was winning championships there, our kids were still relatively young, or I should say babies. In my last few years, they were older and knew they could really feel my absence. And so what I try to do is try to bring them along for the process. So there were mornings I would wake them up and say, let's go. So we're going. Well, Daddy's going to go train, so let's go.
No kidding.
And I bring them with me. And they'd be in the gym shooting around or kicking a soccer ball around or hitting a volleyball around. But I felt like it was important as a father to not just tell them about hard work, but they need to see what I'm doing. When you're sleeping, this is what I'm doing here for 3 hours. And so they're a part of the process and feel connected to the process. But traveling and things of that nature is very, very hard because there's been plenty of birthdays that I've missed and school plays that I've missed.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Guys, that's been the key to their lead. I mean, simply put, the effort they've displayed on the glass has been the difference.
And Jefferson sends it back.
Great seeing Jefferson show us some defense there, Kevin. I mean, with his length, he rejects shots when he jumps and times it right.
Here's Joseph. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Joseph's got 5 points now this quarter. And Kobe, your spectacular high school career at Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia, in that Philadelphia area, paved the way for your NBA career. Talk about some of the highlights of your days in high school.
Well, my days in high school were fun. I mean, I played at a small high school called Lower Merion High School, so not too many people heard of it. You know, when you come to Philadelphia, the schools that you hear of are Overbrook, where Wilt Chamberlain went to school, Bartram, right, where Earl the Pearl Monroe went to school, right? But you never heard of little old Lower Merion High School, right? So it was a huge honor to be able to bring a state championship to Lower Merion and kind of put Lower Merion on the map. And that's the most exciting part about it.
Oh, a terrific story indeed. A huge honor, I'm sure. Now, here's ball. Bradley Beal unable to get his shot to go. Caldwell Pope passes to Bogut. Screen by Bogut. Ennis dishes to Caldwell Pope. There's the screen. Shot clock at 3. Over Joseph. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope's got 6. And Kobe, you've had so many fans from high school that carried over to your NBA days. In the stands now, in fact, you'll see fans with Lower Merion High School jerseys on.
How cool is that?
That's amazing.
How cool is that? You know, to actually be able to see a bunch of Aces jerseys in the crowd when literally nobody knew where Lower Merion was. There's actually a school called Upper Merion. So everybody used to confuse the two. Just say, hey, yeah, I saw you when you played at Upper Merion. Say, hold on, dude. No, Lower Merion, man. Get it right. Don't forget it, Lower Merion.
Now ball. Bradley Beal missing from long range. Expanding his range. No good, shot missing. So Indiana will take it the other way. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
In their meetings last year, they split the season series. Happens a fair amount between teams from the East and West.
And, you know, when you only see a team twice a year, Greg, it's hard to really get a good understanding of who they are or a good feel for them. And oftentimes, that can lead to a series split.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Now here's Ennis. 8 points for him. Nance a screen. Here's Ball. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight. Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. Indiana also making some changes. Sabonis, he's checked in for Jefferson. And Stevenson comes in for Bogdanovich. And it's Collison in for Joseph. Kuzma, that's good.
He's making it look easy scoring out there because he's much more efficient here in the second.
Hey, Kobe, thanks so much for stopping by and having some fun with us tonight on the broadcast. Hope we can do it again real soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
Kobe Bryant. And Clark, you've been broadcasting for the entire span of Kobe's playing career. How is it to share a booth with someone who you've watched progress throughout their entire career?
Well, it certainly reminds me that I'm moving into that last block on the demographic charts. I'm in the early third quarter, if you will, that's for sure. But it's a treat because it's wonderful to see how he grew as a player and as a man, and much, much respect for Kobe Bryant because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer and doing great things off the court, too.
And here's Clarkson after the three-pointer from Bradley Beal. Clarkson kicks to Barnes. They set the screen. Pass to Kuzma for the three. Traps in the tray. Kuzma's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. The pass to Sabonis. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket, too.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
look at Sabonis as a terrific stretch four. He's a guy who can play either power forward or center, and he has excellent length and a nice touch.
Here's the screen. Barnes outside. Good, and it's Perea who picks up the assist. Barnes has got the lead up to 10 now for Los Angeles. And so that brings the first half to a close. Lakers lead by 10. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Harrison, a big first half for you offensively. How did you get loose?
My team has just been fine to me. I've just been trying to run hard, make good backdoor cuts, run it in transition, and give me good looks.
You have not stopped moving at all, and it's led to good results. Thanks, Harrison. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. They were unable to ever build a big lead in the first period, with 3 points being their largest cushion. They took over in the second quarter, building their lead up to 10 points by the half and looking very much like a team that is determined to turn this game into a laugher. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage. They just need to keep playing smart in the second half and close this thing out. Don't get cute now.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Pacers.
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the boards. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more aggressive on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
And now the third quarter about to get going. Well, Clark, your whole career, you were a fantastic rebounder. Really at all levels you played it. With that in mind, who do you think are some of the best rebounders right now in the NBA?
Well, for me, it's all about the consistency of getting rebounds at both ends of the floor, and I tend to lean towards those guys that get a bunch of offensive rebounds. So in that regard, Kevin Love, Hassan Whiteside, Andre Drummond, those guys are tenacious and highly productive on the offensive board.
Ball runs point with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to his side. They're the backcourt. They'll get out there with Nance, and it's Barnes in at the 3 slot. And that's the group for Luke Walton as we begin the second half. That shot by Caldwell-Pope, no good. Pacers trail by 13. Outside, Beal. Lets a floater go. Nance with the rebound. Nance has got 8 rebounds in this game. Barnes kicks to ball. Pass to Nance. 4 on the shot clock. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Off target from 3-point range.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and that's the attitude. Stay with it. And you know what? It's important for big men to be able to shoot from deep in today's game. And shot selection important. Good shot selection there.
Nance a screen. And here's Barnes for 3. Drills the 3-pointer. Barnes has got 15 points.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Well, the defense just hasn't pressed up to deny any of those looks, guys. I mean, they're hanging back and getting picked apart.
That one's in there. The Lakers' lead is cut down now to just 11 on the basket from Joseph. Now, here's Ball. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. There's the dish to Barnes. Lakers passing it around. It's rebounded by Indiana. Morris has got rebound number 5 here tonight. He kicks it to Beal. And the Pacers another 3.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
Ball kicks to Caldwell Pope. The feed now to Bogut. Pacers with the rebound. Bogdanovich has got 4 rebounds in this game. Now here's Joseph. He's covered closely. Bogdanovich passes to Beal. Bogdanovich sets the pick for Beal. Baseline J on the way. Beal can't get that one to fall. Lakers leading by 8. Barnes outside. Over Bogdanovich. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. And that's now 17 points for Harrison Barnes. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Blazers.
And they couldn't get stops when they needed to. The opposition just too comfortable shooting the basketball.
Well, you know what, Greg? When the defense is that lax, come on now. They honestly deserve to lose. You can't let a team get into that kind of a groove.
And here are the Pacers now. Beal with it. Now guarded by Caldwell Pope. A 3-ball. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut to just 7 points in the basket from Beal.
You know, leaving somebody that wide open is not prudent. I mean, you got to expect to get burned when you put that kind of effort forward.
Now here's Caldwell Pope. He has 6. Yep, it counts.
All heart from Caldwell Pope there, using every ounce of strength to muscle that shot in.
And Joseph kicks to Bogdanovich. Morris with a screen on Nance. Bogdanovich against Barnes. A nice shot by Bogdanovich.
On the perimeter and on the inside, too, Bogdanovich able to put points on the board.
Ball dishes to Nance. They set the pick. Kicks the ball. He feeds it to Barnes. Clock at 6. Over Bogdanovich, and another basket for the Lakers.
Kevin, he's been flat out phenomenal, superb, scintillating this quarter. He's carving them up, knocking down everything.
And Paul George traded away by the Pacers over the summer, a move they didn't want to make, but the writing was on the wall.
You know what? It's always hard, Kevin, to lose a superstar player, but the Pacers had really been unable to create a contender around Paul George, and therefore they had to trade him because they didn't think he was going to sign. As a matter of fact, he clearly stated he would not re-sign at the end of his contract with the Pacers. So traded to OKC, and Paul George still intrigued by the possibility of maybe playing for his hometown Lakers at the end of his contract.
Excellent use of the screen that time. Bogdanovich has got 13.
There he's showing you he can run the show himself in that pick and roll. That's a nice play from Bogdanovich.
Bogdanovich against Barnes. A rebound by Jefferson. Jefferson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. And a chance here to go to our rookie leaderboard and give a nod to the best long-range bombers of the past month. Lonzo Ball 3rd.
You know, coming into the NBA, you knew he could stroke it from long range. And over the past month, he's shown us exactly that.
Just a high level of efficiency. That's the key. I mean, quality of shots he takes, but also his fundamentals. Anyone can host a launch party. This guy is consistent ATM.
It's tipped. It's stolen by Morris. Joseph up top. He's got 8. Outside Bogdanovich. And he dunks it down.
Whoa, now, I don't think the defense expected that. Bogdanovich taking it to the rack.
Ball kicks to Bogut. Here's the screen to the inside. Knocked loose. Down low. Makes it off the glass. Bogut's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And nobody puts a body on Bogut, and then he makes them paid the price.
And the Pacers call time here. And the Lakers, Greg, have acquired some intriguing young talent. Do you see this group blossoming into elite status?
I mean, there's still some question marks. Injuries have been an issue. I do see some all-star potential for some of their young fellas. Superstar potential, though, tougher to say. They've got something to build on, though, and that's key.
Now, here is Robinson. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Curry passes to Zubac. Clarkson dishes to Barnes. Over Young. Again, Los Angeles.
And I think they're winning because of him. I mean, he's hitting a lot of his shots right now.
Pacers trail by 8. Outside Collison. They set the pick. Floats one up, and it's Robinson with the bucket inside. Robinson's got 6 points.
Resplendent release on the floater. When executed correctly, it's a beautiful, effective shot.
Clarkson against Stevenson. And here's Barea outside. That one, no good. And Indiana will come the other way. Robinson kicks to Stevenson. Young, a screen on Clarkson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Well, Clark, you had the distinct honor of playing horse against the former president of the U.S., Barack Obama. You lost that game, I don't want to remind you, but I want an honest answer. Did you let him win that contest?
Kevin, the deal is that it was an unbelievable privilege to play POTUS. We changed the letters of that game back in 2010, and I let the president up. I gave him life after I had him down, and he took advantage of turning the momentum in his favor. He won fair and square. I did give him an opportunity to win, but he's on top in that matchup, and I think it ended up being good television. And while some of my former teammates look at me with disdain for having lost a horse game to the president, I think it was all intended to end just the way it did.
Good on the second free throw.
And the Pacers really have been one of the more consistent franchises in the NBA over the last 15 years or so. They've not won fewer than 32 games or drafted higher than 10th since 1989. That's a pretty impressive run of consistency.
Now here's Barea, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Curry on the wing. Just 5 to shoot. Out to the right wing. And Barea with the basket on the assist by Curry. Barea's got his second basket of the night. And the Pacers always find a way to hold their own, but still searching for that first NBA championship.
Yeah, you know, it's tough for every team, but in a smaller market, they don't feel they can afford to totally tear down the roster with a full rebuild. Indianapolis, as great a city as it is, not a free agent destination, so that makes it tough to build a title contender. You have to do it primarily through the draft and smart acquisitions.
Barea against Collison. Feeds to Young. Now here's Collison. Defense is right there. Robinson for 3. And it's Robinson again missing.
Not a lot going his way. Everything he's shooting is just off the mark. I mean, somehow he's got to figure out a way to turn it around.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Yeah, I like the quick release, Greg. He does a nice job getting it up quickly, especially when he's facing a bigger defender.
And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Lakers.
And what a big-time game we've seen from him. He's been the one looking to create and get a shot each trip down the floor. Every time a shot falls, his confidence just grows and grows. Just an all-around tremendous offensive showing.
Pacers trail by 10. To the paint. And finished off by Robinson.
Spotting the open man, Collison, a capable playmaker.
It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. Now, here's Clarkson. He's got 7. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And Jordan Clarkson, a second-rounder out of Missouri. He's got some offensive talent.
Yes, he does. I love his game. He's solid as a jump shooter. He's athletic, can make plays for others. His defense continues to get better. He brings a lot to the table. I like this young man's game a lot.
Free throw good. Clarkson.
And how about the 46th pick back in the 14 draft? Jordan Clarkson has certainly exceeded expectations thus far in his career. An athletic combo guard. He's really succeeded playing at both the 1 and 2.
He's off on the second. And Greg, Jordan Clarkson, he has an offensive game, doesn't he?
He's able to shoot with range, and he can attack off the bounce as well. I think that enables him to kind of play on or off the ball. And I think he has a chance to be a really good two-way player in our league.
Robinson misses.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Collison kicks to Robinson. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Correa, the pass to Barnes. Curry kicks to Barnes. And Young comes over to help. Curry against Robinson. It's Curry with the drive. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Curry's got 6.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
And so the ball is out of bounds. Clarkson touched it last.
Here's a look at some stats for Harrison Barnes. He's been in good form here the last few weeks. He's putting up about 21 points per, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
And Indiana making a change here. Morris is checked in. Count it, and the Laker lead has been cut down to 9 in the bucket from Darren Collison.
Sensing the opportunity there, Collison sneaking inside for the finish.
41 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Correa with it. 6 points for him. Here's Clarkson. No good with the triple. Outside Robinson. Stevenson dishes to Collison. Morris a screen. 6 to shoot. Here's Robinson. And finished off by Robinson.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. We come back right after this. Just 1 quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Pacers trail by 9. On the court right now for the Pacers, Robinson and Young, the duo at forward. Collison is out there with Lance Stevenson, and it's Morris in at the pivot spot manning the middle. Robinson, that's good.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Curry passes to Zubac. From 13, Pacers with the rebound. Stevenson kicks to Collison. Fast break, the Lakers. Ennis has got the ball. Barnes can't get it to go.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Collison kicks to Young. Morris with the screen for Robinson. Shoots over Curry. Robinson missing again.
And as he squares up from mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. It looked like he forced the shot.
And when you're down this many points, hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Well, you know what, Greg? To me, it looks like they've packed it in and just kind of given up.
Morris a screen. And Young kicks to Robinson. Clock at 6. Screen by Young. It's stolen by Ennis. Oh, and here comes Ennis all alone. Drops in the breakaway layup. And it's a 12-point Laker lead.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Well, I think the defense flat out gave up. I mean, didn't even try to get back into the picture on that fast break finish.
Here's Collison. Barnes grabs the miss. Lakers leading by 12. He dishes it to Ennis. Pass to Curry. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Stevenson against Clarkson. No good from Zubac. Pacers trail by 12. Stolen by Clarkson. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Curry dishes to Clarkson. Back to Curry. They set the screen. 6 to shoot. And Young comes over to help. Zubac, an easy 2 points on the layup. And the Lakers lead by 14.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Andrew Bogut checked in for Zubac. Nance comes in for Seth Curry. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Jordan Clarkson. And Ball subbed in for Ennis. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Jefferson's checked in for Young. Bogdanovich comes in for Robinson. Beals checked in for Lance Stevenson. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Darren Collison. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Hey, guys. Well, Nate McMillan had some advice for the team during that last break. He was begging them to step it up. He said, we've got to make the move now, or we're going to be out of time and out of luck. Give it everything you've got out there. Kevin?
Jefferson passing to Bogdanovich. Dishes it to Morris. Over Nance. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Ball with a wide open look. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And you see Bogdanovich, 6'8" at times, listed at shooting guard. GA, is he a 2?
No. If anything, I think he's often better defending power forwards than he is against the wings, in part because you're not going to look to post that position in the way the game is played today. This guy is skilled and tough, but doesn't have the great foot speed defensively, so I think that's to his advantage to guard those guys.
Free throw good, Bogdanovich. He's perfect from the line this time. And Clark, when you look around the league today, is there a player that you watched and think, hey, yeah, that reminds me of how I used to play?
There are a number of guys that come to mind a little bit. Tobias Harris is an outstanding player, terrific young player and young man. Has a game similar to mine in that he's really versatile, does a lot of things well, not super flashy, but very productive. He comes to mind right off the top of my head currently.
One shot, behind the lanes.
And the Lakers, Greg, for a long time could rely on the lure of Los Angeles to draw top free agents. History does a lot, it seems.
Yeah, Paul George listing them on his short list shows they still have that pull, but the Lakers will be big players in free agency, I believe, in the near future.
Here's Ball. Finished off the break. And the Lakers lead by 17. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Off the screen. And that one comes up a bit short. Here's Los Angeles now. They're on a 15-5 run here. Passes to Caldwell Pope. There's the pass to Ball. Nance a screen on Joseph. Back to Caldwell Pope. Beyond the arc. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5-for-8 clip.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Here's Joseph. And the NBA has tinkered with the All-Star voting in recent years. Fans no longer get 100% of the say for the starters. Clark, how do you feel about that change?
I like it. I mean, again, the fans desire to be involved and should have an opportunity to be engaged in the voting because they're so important to the success and popularity of the league. So I like the fans having a piece of the voting. 100% is far too much, so I think the fact that you've got it weighted between fans and those who follow the league closely, along with coaches, is about the right blend to me.
Puts one up from 19. Barnes can't get it to go. Pacers trail by 20. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Now here's Joseph. He's guarded closely. The offensive rebound. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Yeah, those are back crushers. I mean, they really crack your back when you give teams second shots like that.
And the Lakers breathe a sigh of relief this summer, retaining their lottery pick that had a greater than 50-50 chance of falling to the 76ers.
And you know what, Kevin? That's a huge boost for the franchise drafting Lonzo Ball. They kept their pick, but that means they will lose their 2018 pick. No upside to losing games this season. They're going all in.
And that one misses. And here's Los Angeles. They're on an 18-7 run. Nobody near Barnes. And there's another one for the Lakers.
You know, Barnes is a versatile scoring forward. We've seen him heat up quickly, and he's capable of doing that.
Jefferson setting the pick for Joseph. Screen by Jefferson. That one rolling around and rims out.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Here's Bogut. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got 8 rebounds in this game. Beal against Caldwell Pope. A rebound by the Lakers. Nance has got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Barnes kicks the ball. And Clark, the topic of the need for league parity is something that's come up the last few years. Is that necessary for a healthy NBA?
I don't think so, Kevin. I mean, you can have it both ways. You can have tremendous popularity and success when you have a dominant team or 2 or 3. And you can also have it when there's great competitive balance. Currently, we have a circumstance and situation where the league is top-heavy in terms of championship contenders. But that won't last forever. And there will be a graduating back to a more competitive balance in time. So I think you enjoy the ride for what it is in the season and seasons that you have, whichever side of that coin you have.
Morris kicks to Beal. Jefferson, a screen on Bogut. Here's Beal. Goes back up. Foul on the play. Basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
Boy, I tell you, he has been lights out. Sadly, they're still behind. He needs his guys to step up.
And I'd bet a lot of big men would love to have that right hand of Al Jefferson.
No doubt. I mean, he can hit that hook shot out to 10 feet, maybe a tad beyond that. It's one of those shots you're not going to block. It goes in or it doesn't. In his case, it's usually the former.
One shot.
And the Pacers have lived on mid-range jump shots for sure.
Yeah, they've got guys who can make them now. I mean, nevertheless, the way the league's going, it's hard to score at an elite level without getting more threes and baskets at the rim. I mean, it's pretty clear that threes and paint points are how you survive and do well in the league.
Jefferson setting the pick for Beal. Ball with the rebound. Ball's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Obviously, I mean, it would go a long way if he's making his shots. Right now, they're behind, and they certainly could use his help.
Nance a screen. Now, here's Ball. He's covered by Joseph. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. Pacers trail by 21. And Joseph kicks to Morris. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Nance a screen. Here's Ball. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
Yeah, Ball showing you some nice physicality and strength there, Kevin. And you've got to have confidence in yourself to be able to draw fouls and play through contact like that.
And, you know, so often we hear about a player coming out as an elite athlete, but Lonzo Ball is an elite basketball brain. I mean, this guy sees everything on the court, a terrific passer, but more importantly, he's a guy that players like playing with. He really approaches the game like a 10-year vet.
That's good from Ball. And with Lonzo Ball, you've heard all the comparisons to Jason Kidd as how he plays and views things as if it's a chess match. Greg, pretty good company to be in.
I tell you, that just shows the lofty expectations Ball has been saddled with, and he's the ultimate team player and plays to win. There are questions about his game, but what I always say is the fact that the players he plays with tend to play their best basketball, which I think is a reflection of his game.
Beal against Caldwell Pope. Outside, Beal. And the foul on Larry Nance Jr. That's foul number 2 for him. Clark, when we talk about the importance of what a player can do, how important is it for a player to know what they cannot do?
Very important. Understanding who you are and what your skill set is and how that fits with your team, critically important. Not only knowing it, but then embracing your role within your particular limitations, skill set, and teamwork.
Boy, Jefferson got really physical on that screen to help set the shot up.
Nance a screen. Ball kicks to Nance. Barnes dishes the ball. Lakers working the ball around now. Nance outside, 5 to shoot. Now here's Ball. He's covered closely, and that one is off. And Beal kicks to Bogdanovich. And there are the Pacers with another bucket.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Los Angeles.
They enjoyed a big boost from the strong play of their bench.
The subs came in and did their job. Those points off the bench were key to their victory.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And in the season series, they'll end up taking the upper hand with this first victory for the matchup. A 1-0 record against the Pacers.
Hey, you know, guys, what a nice performance it was for Barnes.
Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
Stevenson passes to Joseph. Here's the screen. The kick out to Young. And he banks in the layup.
Young is often overmatched because he's not as big as other power forwards, but he still finishes inside at a high rate.
There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ennis dishes to Barea. Pass to Ennis. To the right side. Here's Kuzma. Good defensive work there by Young. Here's Joseph. Now the dish to Stevenson. And the rejection by Zubac. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, we know that you are a defensive presence in the paint, but how do you find balance to also contribute offensively?
Just attack the rim. I think there's a couple of opportunities where I have a chance to attack the rim and get closer to the basket on my post move. So I'm working on it. There's always room to improve.
Well, congratulations on the win, Andrew. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you later.